And one fact I gotta face is that whatever it is that women like, I ain't got it. I chased after enough girls in my life. I went to enough dances. I got hurt enough. I don't want to get hurt no more.
Ernest Borgnine's success in Hollywood was a testament to his dedication to acting and his toughness in the face of adversity. His career was marked by collaborations with prominent figures in the field, which allowed him to hone his skills and gain invaluable experience. On the other hand, Borgnine had a strained relationship with one co-worker that persisted until his death. This conflict revealed an intimate aspect of Hollywood that is seldom shown in films. Come with us as we reveal the backstory. Born to Italian immigrants, Anna Bocelli and Camillo Borgnino in Hamden, Connecticut on January 24, 1917, Ernest Borgnine was known as Hermes Ephron Borgnino. They emigrated to the United States as a married couple, Camillo working and Anna taking care of the home in search of better prospects. Many other immigrant families in the early 1900s went through the same thing. They kept moving in quest of stability and work because their finances weren't going well. Because of the nature of his existence, young Ernest had to constantly adapt to new situations. The Borgnino family's Italian roots were deeply ingrained in Ernest's childhood. Ernest was surrounded by Italian cuisine, culture, and values, and his family retained strong ties to his Italian heritage. As a result, Ernest's parents divorced when he was only 2 years old, and their relationship faltered. He and his younger sister Evelyn were taken by their mother to live at her family's house in Italy for a few years. While in Italy, Ernest was able to fully immerse himself in the culture and traditions of his new home. After making it back to America, his parents reunited and finally settled in New Haven, Connecticut. Though he struggled in the classroom, Ernest was an active and enthusiastic youngster. After graduating from James Hillhouse High School in 1935, he was unsure about his future profession. He, like other young guys his age, was more worried about finding a steady job so he could provide for his family. Acting had fallen by the wayside. He was preoccupied with the day-to-day tasks that provided for his family. Borgnine performed odd jobs after high school to make ends meet. He did everything from driving trucks to working in manufacturing. Even though it was a difficult profession, they taught him the value of hard effort and perseverance. During this time, he also developed the lifelong habits of discipline and hard work that would serve him well throughout his career. Optimistic and determined to make a better life for himself, Borgnine persisted through thick and thin. Unfortunately, Borgnine's life was changed by World War II. As a young man driven by a feeling of civic duty, he joined the United States Navy in 1935 at the age of 18. During his time in the Navy, he was a member of the destroyer USS Lamberton and the submarine chaser USS Sylph. Borgnine became very patriotic and experienced a great deal of life during his 10 years in the Navy. With the rank of gunner's mate first class, he was released honorably in 1945. The qualities of leadership, discipline, and camaraderie he developed as a soldier never left him. Borgnine was once again unsure of what to do upon his return to civilian life following his departure from the Navy. Given his experience behind the wheel before to the war, he had seriously contemplated a profession in the trucking sector. But his mother, who was always there to cheer him on, suggested he think about something else. She saw that he had an inherent talent for comedy and pushed him to pursue a different line of work. Borgnine decided to pursue acting despite his early misgivings. He began his major training in Hartford, Connecticut's Randall School of Drama. His life took a dramatic change when he decided to leave the military and pursue a career in theater. Borgnine was driven to pursue acting, driven by curiosity and the necessity to make ends meet, despite the criticism he received from others who believed it was an absurd career for a guy from his background. There were many changes and difficulties in Borgnine's life before he became an actor, and there were many more throughout his acting career. The tenacity and ingenuity that would define his life and work were traits he inherited from his Italian immigrant family and from his own experiences facing adversity as a sailor. The values he acquired from his family and time in the military, as well as his willingness to bravely embrace change and seize chances, helped him make the difficult transition from blue-collar work to stage acting. The formative years of Ernest Borgnine were, in general, a model of tenacity and will. His character was formed by his immigrant family and their unstable upbringing. He learnt the value of hard work and the need of respecting authority figures while serving in the Navy. His early experiences gave him a foundation to successfully adjust to the industry's workings, even if he initially wasn't interested in pursuing the arts. The unconventional beginnings of Ernest Borgnine's acting career were the stuff of legend. Borgnine wasn't quite confident in his acting abilities, but his mother had recommended that he give it a go. But the thought persisted, and he did investigate further. At the age of 31, Borgnine enrolled at Hartford, Connecticut's Randall School of Drama in 1947. This was a contrast from his usual existence. He left behind a regimented military job and settled into the nomadic world of performing arts. Borgnine redoubled his efforts at the trade with the same intense concentration and commitment that had marked his boyhood. He worked tirelessly to learn the ropes and hone his performance skills. When Borgnine first started acting professionally, he was working in the theater. Following his studies, he joined the most professional theatrical company in America at the time, the Barter Theater in Abingdon, Virginia. It boosted Borgnine's career by giving him an opportunity to learn on the job and bolstering his self-assurance as an actor. He started off playing comedic roles before settling down to become a serious actor. The executives took notice of his work at the Barter Theater because it was so good, and it was the start of his success. Borgnine's breakout role occurred when he was cast in the theatrical adaptation of Mary Chase's immensely popular play, Harvey. His turn as Elwood P. Dowd, the main role, won him worldwide acclaim and solidified his place in the acting world. He had a steady stream of roles in provincial theater, and Borgnine joined them with parts in great plays like A Streetcar Named Desire and The Glass Menagerie. He was unlike any actor of his day because of his magnetic stage presence and his remarkable capacity to become his characters. When Borgnine started getting parts in films and television shows in the early 1950s, he was making the leap from the stage to the silver screen. Despite being in its early stages, television was quickly becoming a popular form of public entertainment during this time. Stars Over Hollywood was Borgnine's first television performance, which aired in 1951. Captain Video and his Video Rangers, the Philco Television Playhouse, and a few more early TV series featured Borgnine in brief guest appearances. Despite the lack of leading parts at the time, Borgnine did get some reputation as an actor thanks to his efforts. In 1953, he had his breakthrough role in the film From Here to Eternity. Fred Zinnemann's film won 8 Oscars, including Best Picture, and was well received by critics and audiences alike. Sergeant Judson was a filthy, nasty soldier, and Borgnine demonstrated his versatility by playing the character. This was the beginning of Borgnine's success, since his performance was filled with suspense. After breaking through with From Here to Eternity, Borgnine was able to pursue a career in Hollywood acting. When Borgnine appeared in the 1955 film Marty, he gave a few of his most famous performances. The story follows a middle-aged, reclusive butcher who finds love and acceptance in this film, directed by Delbert Mann. The role of Marty Paletti, played by Borgnine, was universally beloved and very touching. Not only was he named Hollywood's top performer, but he also took home the Oscar for Best Performer for the picture. No one ever talks about Borgnine's best single movie performance until he played Marty, which was the zenith of his career. Despite starring in a wide variety of films and TV shows during the 50s and 60s, Borgnine kept performing. In addition to his work with Sam Peckinpah on The Wild Bunch, he had a tiny role as General Worden in The Dirty Dozen, a World War II film. The Flight of the Phoenix and Bad Day at Black Rock are among his Western appearances. Producers and viewers were raving about Borgnine because of his remarkable talent at giving his characters depth. Television was another medium in which Borgnine achieved legendary status. From 1962 until 1966, Borgnine was a breakout star in the hit sitcom McHale's Navy. playing the role of Lieutenant Commander Quentin McHale. It solidified Borgnine's reputation as a talented performer and was another unexpected hit. Because of his charisma and timing, he was a natural on television and maintained a steady career in the medium. Borgnine was a hard worker who often played parts that required him to be physically fit. He was unusual for his day in that he did all of his own stunt work, never relying on stuntmen. He frequently jeopardized his safety by doing so. He was in a dangerous position that almost killed him while filming The Flight of the Phoenix. One of the scenes involving a helicopter required his services. When the helicopter went down during one of the scenes, it lost control and was hurtling toward Borgnine, who just barely avoided harm. The incident served as a sobering reminder of the risks involved in filmmaking while also highlighting Borgnine's professionalism and bravery. Ernest Borgnine made an unforgettable impact on the entertainment industry over his 6-decade career. With roles in over 200 films and TV shows, he became known as one of Hollywood's busiest and most adaptable performers. What really set him apart, though, was his seamless ability to switch between genres. The performance by Borgnine was heartfelt and emotional, and he could address the crowd by name. On top of being a superb actor, Borgnine was also incredibly kind and generous. He spent his life actively supporting a wide range of projects because he believed in the importance of giving back to the community. He became a Hollywood icon and a household name as an actor. Hi, Ernest. Throughout her career in show business, Borgnine received several accolades, including an Emmy, a Golden Globe, and an Academy Award. In recognition of his many years of dedicated work in film and television, Borgnine was honored with the Screen Actors Guild Life Achievement Award in 2011. Even though he passed away at the age of 95 on July 8, 2012, Borgnine left behind the globe and the affections of millions of people with his famous roles. His brilliance, determination, and achievement in realizing his ambition have made him a legend. Working with some of Hollywood's biggest performers, often in challenging situations, was Ernest Borgnine's trademark throughout his career. Because of his pleasant personality and level head under pressure, he was able to ride out tough moments and get along with his co-stars. Shelley Winters and Spencer Tracy were among the performers he collaborated with that he had intense on-set confrontations with. They were able to overcome their disagreements thanks to Borgnine's method of collaborating with these performers. As a tough method actress, Shelley Winters had a strong sense of individuality. When she was on set, she was unstoppable. She was a difficult and demanding person who frequently had disagreements with producers and fellow actors over how to portray certain roles. Among Borgnine and Winters' numerous cinematic collaborations is 1959's The Poseidon Adventure. The combination of Borgnine's humor and tolerance helped them get through Winters' perfectionist streak and constant desire to speak her mind, which made her a difficult co-worker. She had his utmost regard for her work ethic, and he saw her dogged determination as an indication that she wanted to wow with her performance. Instead than confronting her directly, Borgnine focused on their shared objective of making a quality picture. They worked together amicably and treated one another well since he remained cool despite Winters' roughness. In a similar vein, Borgnine's professionalism helped him and Spencer Tracy stay on equal ground during the tense 1955 film Bad Day at Black Rock. In her acting career, Tracy was known for her honesty and her reluctance to use several takes. During a fight scene in Bad Day at Black Rock, Borgnine accidentally punched Tracy harder than he had planned. The fight was taking place mid-shoot. Tracy kept performing as if nothing had happened, showing no signs of rage. Borgnine quickly apologized, his cheeks flushing with shame, but Tracy, being the professional that she was, ignored him. It was Tracy's deftness and Borgnine's modesty that prevented the two stars from getting into an argument. In subsequent interviews, Borgnine gushed about Tracy, calling her a role model and complimenting her ability to remain composed under intense scrutiny. Borgnine got along well with Winters and Tracy, but the 1954 picture Johnny Guitar had a lasting, unsavory impression on him. Two Hollywood legends, Joan Crawford and Mercedes McCambridge, had an off-screen dispute that Nicholas Ray directed. Borgnine saw Crawford and McCambridge's dispute up close and personal while playing a supporting part in the picture. Crawford allegedly threatened McCambridge and then proceeded to make life difficult for him because she was supposed to have been a diva personality and Hollywood celebrity in her own right. Their disagreements interrupted filming, and subsequent changes were substantial, suggesting that the two ladies were harboring animosity toward one another. What really got under Borgnine's skin was Crawford's conduct, which he characterized as unprofessionalism and pettiness. Crawford would sometimes purposefully interrupt McCambridge's scenes, he said. The poisoned on-set atmosphere was brought about by the ill will of both ladies, and Borgnine was unable to remain detached. He began to loathe Crawford on a daily basis, but he came to admire McCambridge, whom he thought had behaved with elegance and grace. Borgnine's encounter with Johnny Guitar instilled in him an enduring loathing for Joan Crawford, and he took pleasure in publicly expressing his lifelong hatred for her. Although the film went on to become a classic, it served as a reminder of the dark side of Hollywood for Borgnine. A string of marriages and infidelity also defined Borgnine's life outside of acting, away from the camera. Each of his 5 marriages brought him a new chapter in his life story. He tied the knot for the first time in 1949 with Rhoda Keemans. Prior to their 1958 divorce, they had a single daughter, Nancy. Even Borgnine's second marriage to actress Katie Jurado in 1959 was short-lived. The couple divorced 4 years later. His third marriage to singer Ethel Merman in 1964, however, did not last the entire year. Borgnine subsequently said that the relationship was one of his worst mistakes because of how unstable it was. Compared to his previous 3 marriages, Borgnine's 1965 union to Donna Rancourt lasted the longest. They divorced in 1972 after having children, Christopher and Sharon. Borgnine was ready to bring something more lasting into his life this time, unlike his previous marriages, which had been difficult. Tova Tresnice was a beauty goods tycoon and businesswoman who Borgnine wed in 1973. His longest and most fruitful marriage was to her. Prior to Borgnine's death in 2012, he was still married to Tova. The couple had a loving, respectful marriage. The two were often characterized as inseparable, with Tova accompanying Borgnine to premieres and other occasions. During his marriage to Tova, Borgnine had a time of contentment and joy. She kept him grounded and on track, he said, even as his career went on uninterrupted. Their lives were resilient enough to withstand the trials they endured. In interviews, Borgnine frequently called Tova the love of my life and publicly confessed his feelings for her. Ernest Borgnine was able to persevere and achieve great success throughout his life and work. He approached everything with vigor and resolve, whether it was falling in love after several unsuccessful marriages or coping with tough co-stars. Johnny Guitar and Bad Day at Black Rock were only 2 examples of his skilled and honest film work. Not only does Borgnine's movie legacy speak for itself, but so does his personal story, which is characterized by humility, humor, and an unwavering belief in the power of love and perseverance. Send us a thumbs up if you liked the video, and we'll see you in the next one.